2.2. 2.2
Yeah, I
is
get
solving
sick.
equations graphically, which means we can use our graphing calculator and make it easier.
Yes.
I'm fascinated now. Still feel free to explain.
Okay, solving equations graphically. Okay, so if you have an equation that's just in this form, 2x plus 3y equals 5, what do you need to do to that first? What do you mean solve it?
Is graphing still a word?
What?
Is graphing? Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Okay. Yes, I need to get, Lindsay's right, I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. I'm going to get 3y equals negative 2x plus 5. I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5/3. We are going to solve these now by graphing in our graphing calculator.
You went so fast.
Yeah, slow down. I'm not even on my feet here yet.
We're slow. I have to go slow.
So, no. So we get the equation, once we solve it into y equals form, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5/3. When you plug this into your graphing calculator, you're hitting the button that says y equals, yes?
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. Loud and clear. What did I put in my graphing calculator?
Step 2, you're going to plug the equation in. When you have fractions like this, you need to use parentheses. So you're going to do parentheses negative 2/3 x plus parentheses 5/3 in your equation.
Okay, come on, slow down.
I am. I'm stopping there.
Okay.
It's in my wallet.
Here, what's it?
I mean, I can go get it, but.
Really? What'd you say today?
Okay. Then after you plug that in, you're going to hit the graph button.
I said, take.
Hopefully your window is in standard form right now.
This is just supposed to be a straight line.
It's not a straight line, it's a diagonal line.
Well, mine is literally straight.
Let me see.
How's your straight line back?
I'm a little curved.
Because you have your plus.
Like an angle.
Turn those off. And because you didn't put an X with a negative.
Didn't put your pants on, right?
Yes. So you have to have parentheses, negative 2/3, then X plus 5/3. Or else, yes, you'll just get a straight line. Because you have no unknown in there. Okay, so you get a diagonal line, correct? Josh, you got a diagonal line?
It worked for a second.
Now, if I want to find the solution points, you're going to do, you're going to do this next. The fourth step is press the trace feature. Okay? That trace feature automatically popped up on the y-intercept, yes?
Yep.
So your y-intercept is 0, 1 2/3, 1.67, okay? Now, to find your x-intercept,
Wait, how do we find that?
how do you find that?
Yeah, what are we doing?
You hit the trace feature after you get your line, and it should automatically pop up on the y-intercept.
Yep.
Okay. Then your x-intercept, okay, you're going to press the little arrow buttons until you get all the way down to where it crosses the x-axis. So your x-intercept is something around 2.5 or 2.6, I guess.
It's 2.97.
Negative 0.04. Something around there. It's probably like 2.6, 2.70 really is what it probably is. It could be a little bit off. It's not a big deal. What are you doing?
I don't know. It's just killing me.
Well, your graph, your window. You have to set up a different window. Your window, you want to set it up.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Typically -10, you want to set it up standard all the time.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, you're good, you're good. Okay, so that's how you're going to solve equations graphically. Did you have to graph anything? No, you're gonna do it all on your calculator.
Is that it?
That's that portion of it, yes. Okay, what happens if you have a equation that looks like this? F of x equals x squared minus x minus 6. What do I need to do to graph this? Okay, so go back to y equals, clear out what's in your first spot, plug that equation in. X squared minus x minus 6.
And like the second one or the first one?
No, clear the first one out. You always only want whatever equation you're working with. So if they give you two equations, you'll have one in y1 and y2. But if they only give you one equation, it should always just be in y1. And then you're going to hit graph on that. It is. So there should be two x-intercepts and there should be a y-intercept. Okay?
What do you know? Why does it keep doing that?
Because you've got to reset your window because your window is for some reason set weird right now. You got to reset it
What
every
should the
time.
shade res be?
So then you're going to press the trace feature again. It should go automatically to your y-intercept. What did you get for your y-intercept when you hit that trace feature?
Y equals -6.
Yes, 0, -6, yes. Now, you need to trace to the left or right. It doesn't matter which one because remember it's we need to trace to both sides to see what it is. So one of your x-intercepts should be something around,
-1.9.
oh yeah. So I get 3 for one of them / 0, and then I went to the right first, sorry.
Oh.
And then I get, for the left side, negative, I'm going to just round it to -2, 0.
So we're allowed to round.
Okay? Because remember when you're having an intercept, that y should say 0 when it's an x-intercept because it's on the x line.
Right.
So I round rounded up to the -2, 0, and rounded down to the 3, 0 or whatever because I think it's like 2.9. And those are your intercepts. Okay? Pretty simple way of finding an intercept, I think. Okay? Now, what happens if it says finding solutions graphically? Okay, that was finding intercepts. Now we want to find solutions graphically. Okay? So you're going to write the equation in the general form still, y equals whatever. Put it in your graphing calculator. And you're going to use something called the zero feature this time. Okay, so we are going to now talk about finding solutions. If you're trying to find a solution and your equation says 2x cubed minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, if I want to find a solution of this, I'm going to start by graphing it first again. So plug that into your graphing calculator. 2x cubed minus 3x plus 2. Okay, and you should get something that looks like this. Yes,
Wait, so what are we doing now?
plugging that into your graphing calculator.
The y equals?
The 2x cubed minus 3x plus 2.
You don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay. So now, when we are finding the solution graphically, okay, we're going to use the zero or root feature or the zoom and trace features of the graphing utility to approximate the x-intercepts of this graph. So if I use the zero feature,
Yeah, he's ready to
Yes. If I use the 0 feature, that means I'm pressing the 0 feature. You have to press second, and then you have to press the trace button, and then you would press the one that says 0. Okay, that's the 0 feature. If you're using the root feature, it's like using the zoom. Okay, when you use the zoom button, it makes your graph so that it zooms in on the zeros of the function. So you just hit the zoom button and you hit zoom in or zoom out, whatever you want to do. And it's going to give it to you so that you can see it. So my y-intercept in this case, okay, is at 0, 1.9 exactly, because I can zoom in and see it. Okay, so it's at 0, 1.9. If I'm trying to find an x-intercept, okay, I can go down here and see that the x-intercept is on this graphing line. You can just move your little zoom feature over. And it should be at negative 1.48, your x-intercept. Okay, that allows you to zoom in on it closer so you can get a closer estimate. Does that make sense? Okay. And so you can do that. And then you could check your answer by plugging negative 1.48 into the x's up here, and if you get 0 out, then yes, that's exactly right. Okay. So you're going to use your graphing utility to graph everything in here, and you're going to check your solutions that way. Now let's talk about one last thing. If there's 2 graphs in one, let's talk about what that looks like. So let's say you have y equals x plus 2, and you have y equals x squared minus 2x minus 2. And they want to know what is the solution of these 2 graphs. That means, where do these 2 graphs cross? Okay, so I'm going to put both of these graphs into y equals. So I'm going to hit y equals, I'm going to clear what's in there, I'm going to put x plus 2 in the y1. Then I use the down arrow to go to y2, and I'm going to put x squared minus 2x minus 2. And then I'm going to hit graph. And I'm going to need to, oh, actually I don't need to zoom out. Beautiful. Okay, so then I get a line and I get a parabola, and they cross in 2 spots, yes? So I'm going to have 2 solutions. You're going to, again, use your zoom or trace feature, whichever one you prefer, and you're going to see where those 2 cross. One point of intersection is, it appears to be, let me zoom in and double check this. One point of intersection seems to be at negative 1, 1, okay, and then I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to trace again over to the other side. And I'm going to zoom in when I get close to that other side just to double check. And when I do that, I can see that that point of intersection is at 4, 6. So I have 2 points of intersection going on in that graph, okay? And that's what you're gonna do on your homework tonight. So you have -1, 1, and you have 4, 6 as your points of intersection. So it shouldn't be too bad if you have a graphing calculator.